the new Nintendo 3DS XL system. What makes it new? For one, the C-Stick.
Alrighty, champion, I'm gonna have to stop you right there because I'm pretty sure one of those things was on my mum and dad's laptop from like 20 years ago. Yep, it's right there, right smack bang in the middle of the keyboard. Have you got anything to say for yourself now? Yeah, didn't think so, buddy. Guys, can we just take a moment and just appreciate this system? I really do think that this is the definitive 3DS system. There's really no debate. I know there's some weirdos out there that just love the new Nintendo 2DS XL, but like, come on guys, what are we doing here? The new Nintendo 3DS XL just has everything you would ever need from a DS system. And in my opinion, this system has one of the best libraries of special edition variants out of any Nintendo console ever made. And that's why I'm pretty excited to get into today's video, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at every special edition system for the new Nintendo 3DS XL and placing them into one of three categories. They will either go into the good, the bad, or the ugly. And there's actually quite a few of these to get through, so without further ado, let's get into this. The new 3DS XL Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer Edition. So, if you like furniture, then this is the special edition DS system for you. I mean, take a look at this outer shell here. We are blessed with beautiful designs of iconic pieces of furniture, such as a couch, a lamp, a bed, a chest of drawers, and even a grand piano. And that is just amazing, isn't it, guys? Don't we just love furniture? Wow. And I can even remember back in the day when Nintendo fans, even the ones who had never played Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, were just begging Nintendo for a furniture-related special edition system, and Nintendo finally delivered with this beaut. And overall, the design of this system isn't the worst thing in the world, but if you couldn't tell before, I was being pretty sarcastic with the furniture design on the outer shell here. I know it's in theme with the game itself, but it's just not the most appealing thing to have on a special edition system, in my opinion. So this is far from the worst special edition system I've ever looked at, but I definitely can't put this in the good, so I'm gonna have to put this system in the bad. The new 3DS XL Fire Emblem Fates edition. So overall, this is a pretty simple but effective design here. You've got the white outer shell with some very light artwork here of various dudes. Looks like some dragons and stuff on the outer shell here. And then on the underside, you've got a very similar design here, but with a black theme. And I think overall, this system is a pretty basic special edition system, but I think it's pretty effective and it's very nice to look at, in my opinion. Sometimes the simpler designs are just the best, and I think that is definitely the case with this one. I've got absolutely no complaints with it, so I'm gonna put it in the good. The new 3DS XL Hyrule Edition. Now I'm just gonna go out here and say it. I absolutely adore this special edition system. I think this is probably not the very best, but it's definitely in the top 3 best Zelda special editions Nintendo has ever made, in my opinion. If you guys have seen any of my previous special edition system videos, you would know by now that I am an absolute sucker for gold systems, and as you can see here, this system is very gold, so that is definitely a tick from me. And alongside this, I absolutely love the Hyrulean artwork on the front here depicting the Triforce. I think it is beautiful artwork on the system, and I've really got no complaints about the front here, but what I will say is that the underside of the system is probably a little bit lacking, because whilst it is that nice gold color, you may notice that there is absolutely no art on it, and I think this system would have really benefited from some more Hyrulean art on the underside that kind of complements what's on the front. But that's pretty much the only negative thing I have to say about this system, and the fact that there's no art on the bottom doesn't really make the system look bad or anything. I just think it's probably an area that would have elevated the system into the god tier. So based on that small nitpick, I'm going to put this one just into the good, but I was really close to putting this in god tier. The new 3DS XL Majora's Mask 3D edition. I have pretty much the exact same compliments and criticisms for this system as I did for the Hyrule edition. These two systems are very, very similar in design. They do have a slightly different shade of gold. I think the Hyrule edition has a slightly more bright gold color versus this one, which is a bit more of a faded gold color to it, but overall, that's a pretty minor difference. And then if you look at the artwork, they're also very similar, but this one just has Majora's Mask art to it compared to just the general Hyrulean art of the previous system. And I like this art as well, obviously, so I really do like this system as well as the Hyrule edition. Again, on the underside, it has the same flaw as the Hyrule edition, as there's no art here, but other than that, this is a pretty amazing system, so I'm going to put it alongside the Hyrule edition in the good. The new 3DS XL Metroid Samus Returns edition. And I'm kind of surprised by this because I'm pretty sure this is the first Metroid Special Edition system I have looked at so far in this series of videos, and to date I've almost done every handheld Nintendo console, but nonetheless, here it is. So on the outer shell, you have got a red color to it with a nice little pattern in the background and a cool action shot of Samus on the front here, which I do quite like. And on the underside of the system, you have got a yellow color to it with a similar pattern to that on the outer shell, and there's also the logo for the Metroid Samus Returns game there as well, which is pretty cool. So overall, it's definitely not the most visually appealing system I've ever looked at. Like, I don't take a glance at this and go, wow, this is just absolutely amazing to look at, but I do still think it's pretty awesome, particularly with the outer shell here with that shot of Samus. So I'm gonna have to put this one in the good. The new 3DS XL Monster Hunter Generations Metallic Red and Blue editions. So I decided to look at these two together because they're exactly the same design but in a red and blue variant. So taking a look at the outer shell, you've got the Monster Hunter Generations logo slapped on the front here with some cool artwork of various monsters from the game in the background there. And I think overall, these systems are really nice. I also just generally like the metallic colors of 3DS systems, so that's definitely a plus for this one as well. There's not too much more I have to say about these ones. I'm going to put them both in the good. The new 3DS XL Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Edition. The background they've used on the shell here is just awesome and absolutely makes this system great. The silver metallic look of this background is just really cool in my opinion. Other than that, there's not really too much more on the system. You've just got the logo for the game here on the front, and then looking at the underside, you've just got a little symbol on the left there, and that's pretty much it for this system. It's again a very simple design, but I just absolutely love the pattern on the outer shell for this special edition system. So again, I'm gonna have to put this one in the good. The new 3DS XL Monster Hunter X Edition. Monster Hunter got so many special edition systems for the new 3DS XL, it's kind of nuts, but this is the final Monster Hunter edition here, and this one is a lot different from the others. So on the outer shell here, you've got a nice deep blue background, and on the front there is gold outlines of monsters with the Monster Hunter X logo written down the bottom there as well. And overall, I think that looks pretty clean. I really like the color scheme of this system. I think the deep blue with the gold complement each other really nicely, and it's not a color scheme that's really ever been used for any other special edition system, so this one's pretty unique. But what I love even more about this system is the fact that it's not just boring and bland on the inside of the system. The reason I haven't shown the inside of any of these other systems we've looked at is because there's literally nothing unique about them, but that is not the case with this system because the blue color color actually extends into the inside of the system. And then the D-pad, the A, B, X, and Y buttons, the start and select button, and the home button are all this really nice maroon red color. And yeah, I just absolutely love that. I think this system goes the extra mile with its design. And even though I've never played a Monster Hunter game, I love this system so much that I'm putting it in God tier. The new 3DS XL Sol Galeo Lunala Black Edition. So this is a black new 3DS XL with white outlines of Sol Galeo and Lunala on the front here, and then on the underside of the system it is just black with two silhouettes of the legendary Pokemon, and that is it for this system. It's a pretty basic design, and I'm gonna be a bit brutal here and just say it, I really do not like this. I'm not 100% sure as to why, but I just think the line art on the front is a little bit, it just doesn't look nice. Like, I'm no art critic, but I just look at it and it doesn't look appealing to me. I feel like maybe the reason I don't like it is simply just the color choice they've used here, because the black and the white do contrast very strongly with each other, and maybe that's the reason why. I'm not really sure, but I also think it could have been nice if they actually used some of the colors from the Pokemon Sun and Moon games in this design instead of just the black and white color scheme. So there's a few things that could be contributing to my dislike of this system. I can't really put my finger on exactly why, but it's just the way I feel about it when I look at it. So I'm gonna have to put this one in the ugly, and that may cause a riot in the comment section down below. If it does, I don't really give a f, to be honest, but yeah, this one's definitely in the ugly. The new 3DS XL Pikachu Yellow Edition. And just before we get into the system itself, I think this box design is fantastic. I don't know, I just really like the box. But anyways, onto the actual system. We have got a yellow new 3DS XL with a cute little crown style artwork of Pikachu on the front here. He's kind of just lying down and chilling, smiling at you. I think it's a pretty cute little design on the front here. And on the underside of the system, you've got the same artwork of Pikachu just extending across into the underside here. So you've got a little bit of Pikachu's ear on the top and then Pikachu's tail on the top left there. So that's pretty much this system in a nutshell, and I actually own this system, and I will say that overall I really like the design on the outer shell of this system, but it does have one key flaw, and that is the inside of the system, because if you have a look at the inside, the bright yellow color scheme continues on, and it's actually really distracting when you're playing games on this system. So I would consider this to definitely be a special edition system that you have on display and you don't actually use to play games, because I personally find that to be very distracting. But other than that, this is a great Pikachu special edition system, so it's definitely going in the good. The new 3DS XL Super Nintendo editions. Now, there's actually 3 different variations of Super Nintendo editions out there. You may notice that I've only got 2 on the screen. Well, let me just explain it. So you've got the Japanese version of this, which is the Super Famicom edition, which is not on the screen right now. And then on the left here, you've got the Super Nintendo edition that was released in the PAL region. So that's mainly like Europe and Australia. And on the right, you've got the edition that released in North America. So the reason I'm excluding the Super Famicom edition, or the Japanese variant of this, is because it's actually extremely similar to the PAL edition. The only main difference is that on the outer shell, instead of saying Super Nintendo Entertainment System, it just says Nintendo Super Famicom. So it's pretty much the same design as the PAL variant. So anyways, with that out of the way, I love both of these systems. I think they do an amazing job at representing the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And instead of trying to explain it in words, I'm just going to show you a little side by side here. So this is the PAL variant with the PAL Super Nintendo Entertainment System. They look pretty similar, don't they? I think the designers did a great job with this, and it's pretty much the same story with the North American edition. This is them side by side here. So I think these are pretty much perfect Super Nintendo editions of the new Nintendo 3DS XL. I absolutely love both of them, and they're both going in God tier. The new 3DS XL Super Smash Bros. Edition. So this is a metallic red new 3DS XL with the designs of the main characters in Super Smash Bros. 3DS on the outer shell here. And you've also got the Smash logo in the top right there. And whilst this design is really clean in my opinion, I will say that one major thing that detracts from it is just how similar it is to the 3DS XL Super Smash Bros. Editions. I'll just put them on screen here so you can compare. They're pretty much the exact same, except the new 3DS version doesn't have the logo in the top right, whilst the 3DS XL versions do. So I think that's kind of a little bit lame in my opinion, but overall I do think that this is better than the 3DS XL system. I think it's a lot cleaner not having the logo on there and just having the Smash Ball instead. So despite it not being the most original design in the world, I do still think it is great. So this system is going in the good. The new 3DS XL Puzzles Dragons International Championship Contest Edition. So this is a very exclusive edition of the new 3DS XL. As I mentioned just before, it was only available through a contest, and I really struggled to find any good images of this system. What you've got on the screen right here is the best I could find, and that signature on the right is not part of the design. That's just what the owner of this specific system has. But fun fact, that is Shigeru Miyamoto's signature on this specific system. So that's pretty cool, but I'm going to pretend it's not there because it's not actually part of the design of this system. But anyways, looking at the outer shell here, you've got a nice little gold plated logo here from the contest, and it's got an outline of Mario jumping on the right there. And on the left, I actually don't really know what that is. It's just a little flying hamster thing with a star outline in it for some reason. Anyways, this system is pretty basic overall, but it's also pretty clean, so I think I'm going to put this one in the good. There's definitely nothing I don't like about it, so yeah. Anyways, that is it for the new Nintendo 3DS XL Special Edition systems. As you may notice, a lot of these went into the good or god tier, so I think overall the new Nintendo 3DS XL has an amazing library of Special Edition systems, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. If there are any systems that you would have personally ranked differently, definitely let me know in the comments section down below. But anyways, that is it for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys with the next one. Bye bye.